Okay, let's go through my GRE report for the test I just took on November 16th. And pretty obvious what's going on here. We have a verbal score, we have a quant score, and we have an NS for the analytical writing because I skipped it. So you can see the percentiles down there. If you're in the, for instance, 87th percentile, that means you scored better than 87% of people. So for me, 170 verbal, 167 quant. Pretty straightforward. But now let's look at the diagnostic report. So for each part of the GRE, the verbal reasoning and the quantitative reasoning, the GRE after your test, after about 10 to 15 days, this will be available online and you can see in each section how you did. And there's not a lot of tremendously interesting data here. You can see the difficulty level of the question. Obviously, you can see if you got it right or wrong. You can see what type of question it was. And then you can see the time spent on the question. What you can't see, of course, is they're not going to show you the actual questions from the test that you took. That would be really helpful, but they don't do that. Actually, unless you live in New York State. If you live in New York State, you can make an appointment and go see the questions. But anyway, for most of us, that doesn't apply. So you can see the only thing I got wrong in the first verbal section was this pesky sentence equivalence. I probably had trouble with it. You can see how long I spent on it, but whatever. Not anything here. Most people aren't going to get a lot of tremendous information unless their mistakes are clustered, in a certain question type. And even then, it might not be the skill so much as the difficulty level of the question. But anyway, just to show you what this looks like, the second verbal section, you can see again, what did I do? Oh, I got a reading comprehension wrong in this one. This one, I probably thought I knew what I was doing, but I either got tricked or something. It probably didn't seem hard to me because I spent less than a minute on it, but I still get it wrong. Now let's look at quant. So quant, we have the first section here. Looks like I got a numeric entry wrong for, those are the ones you type in an answer. And then I got a quant comparison wrong for geometry. Don't remember what the questions were, but, just kind of fun to look at what you got wrong and how much time you spent on the question and the difficulty level. What we often see are when people look at the report and they make a bunch of mistakes and they're like, hey, what should I work on? It's like, you have to work on everything. I mean, if you're making more than a couple of mistakes, probably you can improve in almost everything. So this is why for quant, we spend a lot of time doing as much quant as we can. And here is the second harder section. You can see the two I got wrong were both quantitative comparison. They were hard. It makes me feel slightly better, I guess, because I'm getting a hard question wrong. And you can see, obviously, on this one, super tough question for me because I spent all day long on it. I probably came back to it and spent all the time on after I finished the rest of them. But anyway, just to give you a little bit of a snapshot into my test. And once you take the test for real, you can look at this info online and it'll give you a little bit of data, but it's not really going to change study plan for most people. When in doubt, you could always ask about it, like on Reddit, see if you can get some advice about your diagnostic report there. But anyway, good luck with the rest of your GRE prep.